Hello, my name is Ellen, one half of Ed and Ellen, along with our daughter Ella and my three beloved dogs, Dobby, Cupcake, and Lily. So I'm 69 years old, and I view each decade in life like approaching a new floor, a new level that you step into. And I'm approaching the 7th floor in my 70s. So this channel is for anyone who's ever stopped to wonder, what have I learned so far? What should I do differently? What wisdom could I share? And what lies ahead? So hello and welcome to the YouTube channel, Approaching the 7th Floor. Here I want to talk about many things. The fun stuff, the real stuff, the small choices that turn out to be huge in life, finding purpose, and also just talk about the joys that only show up after you've lived a while. I wanted to start something like this for a long time, but honestly, I overthought it to death. What should I talk about? Who would care? The overthinking won for a while until I decided, enough. I'm just gonna show up, start talking, find my voice one video at a time. No fancy production here, no script written by someone else. Just me sharing my thoughts from the floors I've already walked. If you're younger, in the early floors of life, maybe you're curious about what the view looks like from here. Or if you're approaching your own next floor and want some unfiltered perspective, stick around. We can figure it out together. So thanks for being here on day one. So it's been snowy and cold here these last few days, and what better way to spend time than to be on YouTube? So today I'm going to dive into something that I thought was pretty interesting. It's a book that I recently read, and it was written by Bronnie Ware called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. She's a nurse, and she summarized the regrets of people who've only a few weeks to live. And I know this sounds morbid, but I can guarantee you that it won't be. Maybe these regrets that we're going to talk about in life may resonate with you, and you can use them as a wake-up call. So maybe you agree with me, and while I may have some regrets in life, I don't have these. And I think we could all agree that it's best to get to later in life with fewer regrets. So let's talk about these. So regret number one from this book is, I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. On the surface, this is true. The assumption is that we felt we had to conform to please others, and our own dreams got buried forever. But the truth is that we're always influenced by the expectations of others. If the expectations are realistic and they come from people whom we admire, love, and know have our best interest in mind, wouldn't it be a good thing to try to rise to those expectations? When I was younger, I may have dreaded some of the expectations placed on me, and I probably didn't appreciate them enough at the time. My parents and my grandmother, whom I love dearly, did have expectations of me. And at the very least, they expected me to be kind and an honorable person in life. A good person. Through the years, I've probably failed at this more than I'd like to admit, but their expectations of me have influenced how I want to be and how I try to be. Even now, these expectations serve as a guide. And their disappointments in me when I've failed have become my own disappointments that continually serve to keep me in check and balance during my life's course. And that's a gift. So instead of regretting expectations placed on us, maybe we should appreciate the expectations of others who provided a wonderful direction and roadmap for our life. Now, the second regret mentioned in this book from people who are dying is the regret that they wish they hadn't worked so hard. My mother said this often in her last years, that she wishes she didn't work so hard in her life. And selfishly, I agreed with her. I wish she had spent less time working and more time with me, enjoying fun moments, more laughter. So I think we need to look at why some people work too hard. I've always believed that we're either motivated towards something that gives us pleasure, or we're motivated away from things that give us pain. And maybe we all have a little bit of both of that, but in reflection, my mother enjoyed an abundance of her work. She was skilled at so many things, but I believe she needed to avoid some of the unpleasantness in her life. Her work was her escape. So why we may work so hard? Some people work to gain more money, to buy more things, to buy bigger things. They think that's going to make them happy. And some people work so hard to escape demons of a sense of inadequacy, of unworthiness. I know in my early years and career, I certainly needed to overcome a sense of inadequacy. I didn't feel I was smart enough. I worked hard to overcome this. And how did I do that? By working harder. And the older I got, I can say my work has been so rewarding and given me great sense of joy. And yes, it's been hard, but I love the challenge of work. Whether it's mental or physical labor, there's a great sense of satisfaction that comes from working hard. And work can be your career, it can be DIY projects, it can be hobbies, it can be knitting, crocheting, sewing, writing, woodworking, exercising, whatever it is. It's your goal that's yours alone and gives you a sense of satisfaction when accomplished. So for me, work has been a passion that I've appreciated throughout all the floors of my life so far. So I have no regrets about working hard. So now let's look at the third regret of the dying, and that is, I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. Okay, I don't think I said 10 words during my childhood. In my early life, I was so painfully shy. Maybe you were too, and know that kind of pain. Even when I did speak up, I would criticize myself and say, why did I say that? That sounds so stupid. I finally decided I couldn't stand that pain anymore. So I worked on myself. And I found my voice. And it sort of tickles me that I grew up never saying a word to now having a career as a public speaker, traveling near and far for years. And that's been a sense of accomplishment for me. But here's the caution. Sometimes while working on expressing ourselves, we may cross over into speaking up too easily, because it's not too difficult for me to express myself now, whether I'm pleased about something, but also when I'm not. And yes, I found my voice. So if you've had experiences as I have, you may have regretted the times you spoke up too soon, been too harsh, showed impatience and displeasure too quickly. And now as I'm approaching that 7th floor, I'm more grateful that I've learned to keep feelings in check and not express too quickly, not be triggered too easily, and also have less regrets. And this sort of goes along with the serenity prayer. And as I've gotten older, I've learned it's just as important to know when to express my feelings and when not to. And the regret we're going to talk about now is number 4. And that is, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. I don't know, I view life like a river, a flowing river that if you tossed a leaf into it, that leaf is way down that river very fast. It just doesn't stay in one place. And like that leaf, my life too has moved on from some situations, from places, and some people. We all know that friends can be both energizing and draining. And also, the one thing that I've learned as I approach this 7th floor is that time is very precious. I now guard my time pretty aggressively, but in my early years, I would give away my time freely. I couldn't say no enough. And as a result, I was too exhausted to enjoy moments in life or to spend time with the people I loved the most. So let's face it, when we're at this stage in life, time isn't guaranteed. We're lucky to be given the next 24 hours in a day, and I know when I even wake up in the morning, I'm just grateful. So it's important to choose wisely who and what your priorities are. My life includes my family, a few good friends, my dogs, and alone time with myself. I've learned, oh, there's my dogs now. And I've learned that alone time is really important. And by the way, Facebook is a great way to keep in touch with friends and acquaintances with whom you share a lot of interests. So I just don't waste time regretting this one. And finally, the last regret of the dying is, I wish I'd allowed myself to be happier. Life is a gauntlet of emotions, and happiness is a funny thing because I can be crying over something that touched me emotionally and still be happy. But just be happy is something that we've heard over and over again. Every wish of a parent is that their child is happy, and everyone wants a relationship that is happily ever after. But as the decades of life have moved on, surely we bring a richer, deeper meaning to happiness. Early on, I may have thought that making more money would bring happiness, or definitely buying a new car, that's a thrill, but it doesn't last. And shopping can be fun, but that also goes away. So I've learned that the kind of happiness that I'm after is a peacefulness. But I also acknowledge that getting older can bring on surprising new aches and pains and can make daily happiness a little bit of a challenge. But also at this stage in life, I've realized it's the simple things that do make happiness. Sharing meals with family and friends, reminiscing about memories, learning new skills, and always music. Music makes me happy. We have music in our house every day. And boy, do I love laughter, sharing funny stories. That's really fun. So I'm sure I will have no regrets living a peaceful life, appreciating simple things that cause happiness. So there they are, the regrets and the newly rewritten story of those regrets, and why we shouldn't have them as we continue to climb our floors of life. So I hope you found some meaning to this video, and I hope you stop back. Please drop a comment. I'd really appreciate hearing from you. Until next time.